Now, the HCI Foundation continues to make a difference in people's lives. Through the immediate COVID-19 Relief Fund, it's increasing its support to a number of organizations. One of those who will benefit is the Saartjie Baartman Centre for Women and Children. The centre helps victims of gender-based violence. The help comes at a time when reports of domestic abuse are increasing. Police have received at least 2,320 complaints of gender-based violence in the first week of the lockdown. Well, for more on this help that's coming their way, I'm joined now by the organization's Saartjie Baartman. Ms. Baartman, good morning. Happy Freedom Day to you. You must be pleased to hear that there's more help on the way for your centre.
Good morning, and thank you for having Happy Freedom Day to you too. Yes, we are exceedingly excited that we have been nominated to assist with the food relief initiative between HCI and ENCA.
Now, your centre is really focused on gender-based violence, and sadly, our country is faced with that scourge, and unfortunately, under lockdown conditions, it has got worse. According to the reports we got from the police, more than 2,000 complaints in just week one of the lockdown.
Yes, it obviously is going to be a difficulty having abusers confined with survivors during a lockdown period. We were expecting high numbers of rates of gender-based violence during the lockdown period. We're not seeing as high numbers as we were expecting. But looking at the global picture, when you look at a 1/3 increase in gender-based violence in China and a 30% increase in France, the rates that we were looking at, we were expecting much higher rates.
Yeah, well, it's good to hear that there's less, but it's still not good enough that people are still being abused in those kind of relationships. Your centre, what do you actually do? What are your needs? We know now that there's this food distribution drive under our relief fund together with the HCI Foundation, but what does your centre really focus on?
Well, we are a one-stop centre for survivors of gender-based violence and their children, and we run a number of programs. So we have a legal assistance program, we have a child protection program for children in the community, we have a shelter, we also have a substance abuse unit. We run about 9 shelters for survivors of gender-based violence and their children.
Yeah, I know it's too early to know exactly what kind or what size of help you'll be getting from the HCI Foundation arising out of the immediate COVID-19 Relief Fund drive. But when you're thinking about it now, when that help comes, have you decided in your mind or you begin to think how you're going to use it?
Yes, absolutely. So we've been working with activists in our community and looking at mapping the most vulnerable, specifically households with children as well as the elderly. And we would obviously be distributing to the vulnerable in the community.
Yeah. Any idea of numbers? How many people really your centre is assisting? How many of these households do you think you'll be able, through your activists on the ground, to reach through this help?
Well, we've requested 3,000 food parcels. The food parcels themselves is enough food for a month, so we're hoping that we'll be able to assist 3,000 families through the initiative.
Yeah. Now, the importance of this time, we've got a tagline here on ENC as part of the immediate COVID-19 Relief Fund saying, be part of the solution. We're urging South Africans to do their bit. What would your message be as a centre that sees currently with assisting abused children and women?
Well, obviously poverty is a driver for gender-based violence. I would encourage the community to get involved, to donate to the fund in order that we can get more food out to the community. Shelters across the board are also struggling in this time because we have no way of making our fundraising as we do ordinarily, and we have increased expenses. So I would request people to actually get involved with the initiatives that actually assist gender-based violence survivors, as well as those that are in need of food relief.
Yeah, Saartjie Baartman, we salute you as well, and your colleagues at the Saartjie Baartman Centre for Women and Children for the work that you do